an MPC 2000 in 2022. This boy right here. Got this boy, the MPC Live 2 for Valentine's Day 2021. Messed around with it for a little while, put it down for like 3 or 4 months. I picked it back up. I go pick my son up from school, and I'm usually sitting in the car to get to the front of the line about 30 minutes. So I will take it with me because it has a battery, and I just got good at it. Like I don't know how good the beats are, but I got good at making the beats, the workflow, the process. I learned the ins and outs. I learned how to do everything on this boy. Put the bigger hard drive in there, even though it has the SD card slot. So I enjoyed working on it. So got an epiphany one day, like a year later, and she didn't buy me this one. But I'm like, hey, you know what? If I like this one so much, I can go back to the MPC 2000. And actually, I went back to get the 3000 first, especially after I read the Dilettante book. I looked at the prices; they were like $3,000 or $4,000, and some 6-7, like for a good one. And they still have floppy drives. So I'm like, all right, I'll go for the 2000. Looked up the 2000; they were going for like $600-700. I'm like, oh, that's reasonable. Like I can spend that on a toy, you know, and if all else fails, I'll just sell it back on eBay, like whatever. So I found one for $540, but it was the XL model, which is what I was looking for, and I really didn't need the one that was all maxed out with the 8 outs in the back and the effects, because I would export the beat to the computer anyway for all the mixing and mastering and effects. So bought it, had a burned in screen, had the floppy drive. So I got a bunch of old computers laying around, but surprisingly, no computer had floppy drives. So I'm like, okay, I saw online you could put in a thumb drive reader or a CF card reader, the MCD drive. So I got the floppy drive, put it in, and I don't know what I was thinking. It's a floppy emulator. So that means you can only save files 1.44 megabytes, not gigabytes, megabytes. I think most of the sounds now are more than that. Oh, and in the middle of that, I bought the SCSI, the external SCSI that I couldn't get to work. I couldn't get the drive to recognize it. Bought some zip discs. Got the connector to go into the back of the MPC. Couldn't get that to work, so I got the MCD drive to work. I can get sounds in and out. So I learned the workflow going through all the screens, the function buttons, the F1, F2. So I made a couple beats on this. There's software inside of the Live that you can emulate the 2000 or the 3000 in it that I found much easier than making beats off of this. Like maybe technology has advanced too far to go back to this type of stuff where you can't put in a USB cord and get the files in and out of the computer and in and out of this. Like even exporting a song, once you got your sequence done and you want to export the song, listen to it in your car, your phone, whatever, however you want to do it, that's even a slog. Like and it's real time. It's not like, you know, you hit a button, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, you got an MP3 file that you could transport to, you know, a SD card or to your computer, listen to it there. So everything takes a long time on this. And time is something I don't have. Like I own my own software company. I make games. Go check them out. Bid with Spades. A couple word games. Go check them out. ppicapps.com. And that's what I do. So I don't have a lot of time to be working and trying to learn the ins and outs of this. Like the Live just works for me. It wasn't a big learning curve, and FL Studio, they got it on the Mac now. just not worth it to me at this point. Like I'll be going on getting rid of this like within the next couple months or so on eBay whenever I get time to list it, because I can't make this work. It takes too much time to do literally everything. It takes forever, and I can't. Going through the function streams is soul crushing to me. It takes finding it, and I guess I could eventually get used to the workflow, because I've seen videos of Havoc going through the MPC 2000, like bam, 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 making a beat in like 3 or 4 minutes, bam, rocking. That grungy Havoc sound, and that'll take me like 2 hours to get there. I'm exaggerating a little bit, not that long, but it'll take a long time. So it's up to you. But for me, I'll stick with the Live. It's much lighter, much easier to use, and if someone trips over the cord, it has a battery. That beat you've been working on won't be just lost somewhere. It'll still be saved. You'll still be rocking. Like this is, and it has a speaker built in, so you don't even have to hook up anything. You can get the sound working. Just cutting it on. Like you don't have to hook any cords in if you don't want to. It just works. Or hook it up as a controller to the computer. Put the USB in, get the sounds in and out. No CF cards, although I do use the CF card, but no SD card. But no CF cards. You don't have to worry about any of that. You get this boy, it work. Or you cut on your computer, FL Studio, it just works. And I got this Mac, the 2021. Once they switched over to the M1 Max, got this FL Studio. Just works on the computer. You get on Twitter, whatever you do in the meantime while you listening to it and processing the beat. Boop, 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 boop. You can go death scroll or doom scroll through Twitter if you want and come back. You notice something, bam, it's there, instead of just looking at a wall while you listening to the MPC 2000 XL, listening to the beat, just staring out into space. As opposed to sometime, when you're not paying attention, you hear something a little better. But, that's coming from a beatmaker who never had any placements other than I made an album in mid-2000s. And it was whack. It wasn't the rappers that was whack. They were on point, But I was stuck in that boom bap era, the 90s. I wanted that Primo, that Premier, the Havoc, Buck Wild. Like that was the sound that I loved, so I wanted to emulate that, and the sound had changed at that time. We had Cash Money, had that bounce, Dipset, they were still rocking soul beats, but they were a little more modernized. Yeah, that's it. I'm selling this boy. I want to go back to the 90s, relive some of that time, trying to make some of that magic, which you can't, it depends on the person. And I really stopped when I was getting my business off the ground. Stopped for like maybe 6 or 7 years. It wasn't until everyone was stuck in the house during the pandemic. And I got COVID that first year around Christmas. Actually, second year. I think 2020 Christmas. I was stuck in that room by myself. So I just booted up I bought it. FL Studio for the Mac, and I just started working, and that got me through, the isolation. Every day I was just banging out beats, bam, bam, bam. Then in the middle of that, MF Doom passed.
Yes, monsieur?
I wish to see MF Doom. MF Doom
is not seeing anyone.
And when rap switched over from the 90s to the 2000s, I wasn't feeling it. Like even Jay, I wasn't, and Nas, I wasn't feeling any of that, and Gangstar was like one of my favorite groups, and Guru passed, and I just wasn't feeling it. So I started going more underground rap, and I found that Mad Villain album, and it saved rap for me. Like it was the sound that I needed at that time. It wasn't shooting, killing, It's, you know, my skills are this, I could do that. You know, I'm kill you with this mic, you know, with my words. Not going out shooting up the club. I got all these million diamonds, watches, Rolexes, all that. I don't need to hear that crap. So Doom saved rap for me. And then the Food, the J-Lib, all that stuff, man. That's what I switched to. I stopped listening to the radio right then. That's when I got back into beat making, like that Christmas, and then Doom died. So that's it. MPC 2000 XL, I'll be putting it on eBay. The learning curve's too much. Or what I learned is that people got to do what work for them, and this doesn't work for me. So thanks for watching. And go play my games. This is how I make money, how I feed my kids. PPICapps.com.